Hey, it's Sam. Welcome to BNS About Movies. I hate when people talk about, and they get kind of disingenuous about who influenced them, and they're like, oh, so crushed that this person's gone, and they didn't really care about them. And I was thinking about it the other day. It's like when I started this podcast or this website and stuff, who did I look up to? And there aren't, I don't, again, want to be authentic. Like there aren't many. I was trying to do my own thing and trying to find a way to talk about movies that no one else did. But if there is someone that has influenced me, it was Mike McPadden. I think you can't write about genre films after him without owing him some level of debt. And just really loved everything he wrote, even before I knew it was him. I didn't, as a kid, when I read Hustler, I didn't realize he was the editor-in-chief. Yes, I read it for the articles. I did. They were really great. Anyways, he wrote a really great book, Teen Movie Hell, a crucible of coming-of-age comedies from Animal House to Zapped. You can get it from Bazillion Points. It's just an amazing book. Movies like, obviously, Porky's, and Caddyshack, and the ones you really know, but then really deep cut ones, like You'd Have to Be a Pervert and Stay Up All Night Watching Cinemax to know, The Swing Cheerleaders, Hots, Hard Bodies, Joysticks. I learned about stuff like King Frat, between him and Robin Bougie, Screwballs, The Party Animal, Surf 2. So I'm going to talk about some of the movies that I really like that are in that book. Now, they're not all comedies. We'll start with a couple comedies and we'll move to a couple other ones. How about that?
These are the daughters every father waits his life for. These are the innocents every mother holds her dreams for. And these are the gentle flowers ready to bloom and touch the world.
Schoolgirls from hell! Pretty smart.
This is Ziggs. That's Zero. They couldn't take it at home, so they're taking it abroad.
Cool is the rule.
To sun-drenched, tradition-rich Ogilvy Academy. Home to a friendly faculty.
I never want to see that outfit again.
And friendlier students.
New balls, please.
Because at Ogilvy, you're either high class or lower life.
I'm sorry.
Where old world meets new wave.
How stupid do you think we are?
Well, pretty smart. You don't think it. You live it.
Do you really want to be like that?
Pretty smart.
Pretty smart.
Introducing Trisha Lee Fisher and Patricia Arquette.
I'm never going to be able to pronounce the director's name, Dimitri Logotheris. Not only did he make this movie, he also directed Slaughterhouse Rock and Kickboxer Retaliation. It's all about Daphne Zig Ziegler, Trisha Lee Fisher, who is in Stick, Chud 2, Bud the Chud. She's really defeated everywhere that her parents will try to tame her. She works in a bank. A criminal comes in and tries to get her to give up all the cash. She proceeds by jumping on top of the counter and stripping off her goth outfit, which is one way of getting out of getting shot in a robbery. Her parents decide to send Ziggs and her fraternal twin sister Jennifer, Lisa Lorette, to Greece's most eligible and elite boarding school, Ogilvy Academy. Soon they find themselves in two different social groups as Daphne becomes one of the subs, along with Zero, Patricia Arquette, Yuko, who's Kimberly B. Delphin from Body Rock, and Torch, Paris Vaughn. And Jennifer becomes a preen and starts hanging out with mean girls like Samantha Falconray, who's played by Julie K. Smith, only one of 4 women to be in both Playboy and Penthouse. She was Pet of the Month for February 1993. The fact that I know this probably says a lot about me. Anyway, she's also trained with Stella Adler, and she's been in so many movies that I watch intently, including she's Cobra in Dallas Connection, Return to Savage Beach, and Day of the Warrior, and she's in a lot of Jim Wynorski movies. The girls have one problem that brings them together, and that's the day in the school, Mr. Crawley, who's taking nude photos of all of them with hidden cameras, when he isn't sneaking drugs in on them and using them to move weight. Writer Jeff Buggan also did the script for Neon City and Saturday the 14th, while the other writer, Dan Hoskins, wrote Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town. It's a strange movie, but at the same time wants to be empowering, and then you have Julie K. Smith doing nude scenes.
And this one? Miss Van Houten?
Salad fork?
A salad fork? Does this look like a salad fork, you silly cow?
Then it's girls working together discover the power of playing in synth bands. I think the film's third writer, Melanie J. Alschuler, maybe why it feels less like a teen sex comedy, more coming-of-age film. She went on to be assistant to the Olsen twins on there, our first video, and the Olsen Twins Mother's Day special. Let's talk a little bit about the stars of this film. Trisha Lee Fisher, last name sounds pretty memorable, right? Well, her sister Joely Fisher is also in this. They're both the half-sisters of Carrie Fisher. Their dad is Eddie and their mom is Connie. Julie K. Smith's IMDb page, that she was both in Playboy and Penthouse, that doesn't matter anymore, right? Like, it doesn't, Playboy doesn't even, they try to bring it back. It doesn't really exist. But in the 80s and 90s, like, your career, especially in these teen sex comedies, very based on this. But the other pets are Lynn Thomas, Victoria Zadrock, and Alexandria Carlson. You can use that knowledge to win a lot of money, I guess, in a bar. Carrie Weigel was the April 1986 Playmate of the month, and she was in Penthouse but not as a pet in November 1985 before acting in Cheerleader Camp, Glitch, Savage Beach, Predator 2, Return of the Killer Tomatoes, and then going into adult. Ursula Bunchfeller was the October 1979 Playmate of the month, and the German December 1977 Playmate before appearing in Penthouse in November 1985, but not as a pet. Why do I tell you this? She's in Devil Hunter and Sodomania. S-A-D-O, not Sodomania, like the song. Here comes the song. Again, none of this stuff matters anymore. Why do I care? Why is it in my head? Why do I still think about it?
The last night.
We are going to party. You like?
The last party. The last chance to find
one earth-shattering, significant romance. You know what you need? An older man.
Okay.
Hey, Pally, in case you're wondering why this trailer stopped, Timbuk 3 had a copyright strike on the video because of their song, The Future's So Bright, I Gotta Wear Shades. So Sam had to go in, cut it from the All-Nighter trailer, and here we are.
The All-Nighter came out in 1987 and grown up in the 80s. And when this came out for rental and on cable, it was a hot property. Susanna Hoffs is the star of it. The it girl at the time, the lead singer of the Bangles.
Time. See what's become of me. While I looked around for my possibilities, I was so hard to please. Look around. Leaves are brown. And the sky is a hazy shade of winter.
It seemed like a teen sex comedy, and it's more of a coming-of-age film. That wasn't how it was sold. Everyone, and by I mean everyone, pre-pubescent boys or pubescent boys like me, were beyond excited potential seeing a little more of Susanna Hoffs than we thought we would. Look, we're in the throes of a lot of chemicals flowing through our bodies, and that type of behavior was still seen as healthy. I'm here to assure you it is, and I'm old now. I'm 53, going on 54. I'm 16, going on 17. Anyway, what we did not know was that her mother, Tamar Simone Hoffs, or Simon, was directing the film, which meant that no way we're getting a movie like Mischief, which was a snippet tape. My friend Jim makes snippet tapes. This is how horrible. Guys are horrible, first off, right? This podcast should be called Men Are Horrible. But pre-internet, it was impossible. I know I probably talked about this in the show where it just amazes me. He would just tape hours of Cinemax hoping to find breast scenes. And then he realized that they would show breast augmentation surgery late at night on like Lifetime. So he would tape those because you would see, before they cut into the breast, you would see the naked breast. Anyway, the All-Nighter, our heroines are Molly, Susanna Hoffs, Val, Dee Pfeiffer, and Gina, Joan Cusack. They're graduating college and starting their real lives, but for one more night, they explore copyright laws. Will that get busted by YouTube if I sound enough like Phil Collins? Should I unlive myself? Yeah, I should.
Please give me one more night. Give me one more night. One more night. 'Cause I can't wait forever. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
They explore where they are before they get to where they're going. Molly wants true love. Val has it, but isn't sure if she wants it. And Gina just wants to videotape everything.
Gina dreams of running away. When she cries in the night, Tommy whispers, "Baby, it's okay. Look at you. Nasty."
But if you think about it, Hoff's character trapped between an older man who was wrong for her and a young man who was wrong, but a bit more right, is a lot like Luana Pierce in Reality Bites, while Cusack's nonstop filming and commenting on the lives of everyone around her, is a lot like Vicky Minor. So it's the same movie. CJ, one of the guys in this movie, was, of course, John Teresky from Shopping Mall, the Death Stalker 2, An Appointment with Death. Michael Keane is Sheriff Harry S. Truman. Pam Grier and Meshach Taylor in quick cameos.
Look out, Albert, because Hollywood is on your case.
And Edge of the Axe fans, well, that's me. Christina Marie Lane is in this as an extra role. Oh, yeah, and the character Killer, his day at the party, is listed as Debbie Lester. That's actually Debbie Diamond. Again, guys are horrible. I recognized her right away. If you know who Debbie Diamond is here.
Sodomania, bend over, baby. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Anyways, assault of the party nerds. Who are letting these party nerds assault people?
Are you ready for an all-out attack on everything decent?
Everybody synchronize your watches.
Ready to take bad taste to a new low?
Time!
And prepared to go the limit?
Yes! We were just playing hide and seek, right, guys?
The reviews are in, and the critics agree.
If I wasn't seeing it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it. I know. It's great.
I don't think so.
That is exactly what I was thinking.
Wow! It's like really happening!
Assault of the Party Nerds.
Let's go!
Okay.
The party needs you.
And remember, Lambda Alpha Eta forever, guys.
This sounds like a bad title. Like, you come home and you're at the bar and you're all beat up and someone says, "What happened to you?" And you're like, "Well, the party nerds came." Richard Goodbye directed, wrote, stars in this. This Richie Spencer, one of the party nerds, will be assaulting us. The goal is to join the Lambda Alpha Eta. And as they say, hijinks ensue. Former idol Troy Donahue is in this, but the real draw is always Michelle Bauer and Linnea Quigley, literally playing 30-something teenagers. Even wilder, Michelle Bauer was 6 months pregnant while this movie was being made. She does have a glow about her. I mean, if you're into that, this is not a fetish I understand. I don't understand a lot of them, but that's one. Tantala Ray is also in this. She did plenty of adult with titles that made me laugh because I'm immature. And those movies would be Let Me Tell You About Fat Chicks, Tantala's Fat Rack, and Beverly Hills Cox, COX.
This is the ghost of Carolyn DeFonseca. First, apologies, listeners, for this whole episode. Now, Samuel, I am trying to enjoy paradise. I am in heaven. And yet, like some kind of teen sex comedy from the 1980s, I have been assigned to watch over your podcast, and you have just kept bringing up pornography over and over again. Yes, Tantala Ray was in movies with titles like The Rocky Porno Video Show, Computer Girls, and Suburban Satanist. And sure, she used the alternative name Ecstasy Lane. But can you just grow up? What's next? You're going to tell everyone you didn't need to look up that she used the name Darcy Nichols when she was in Cafe Flesh? Oh, Sam, you're going to burn. And because you're fat, it's going to sizzle. Now stop this nonsense and let me get back to my cloud.
This is basically Revenge of the Nerds with Michelle Bauer and Linnea Quigley. And in my heart, that's an upgrade. Super upgrade. There's also a sequel, of course, Saw the Party Nerds 2, that adds Burt Ward, Artie Johnson, Tay McClure, Elle's Mom and Legally Blonde, Maureen Levette from Virgin High, and most perfectly, Rhonda Shear. So when they showed this on USA Up All Night, Rhonda could talk about being in it. She's in one other movie that played on that. If you know the answer to that, right into the show, bnsbotmovies@gmail.com and say, I know what movie that is. Tell me what it is, and you'll get, I'll do the next podcast for whatever movie you want to do. No one's going to respond. No one ever responds. I'm always like, hey, tell me how you feel. Hey, maybe do a review. Maybe like it. Maybe share it with your friends. That's okay. I don't, it's fine. I just want you to talk about Assault of the Party Nerds with me, but let's talk about perhaps I would say the rite of passage movie that is not Porky's would be Hard Bodies.
Tired of youth exploitation films that promise nothing more than cheap thrills? Well, here's the best one yet. Hard Bodies, the story of a boy.
What happened last night? It was like, oh man.
His girl.
You mean you actually went back with Scotty to his dump?
And their up and down romance.
Incredible.
Kaboom! This could be my kind of beach.
Hard Bodies, rated R, coming soon to a theater near you.
The poster's great. It has a girl putting ancient 1950s suntan lotion on her stomach so that when she gets a tan, Hard Bodies will appear across her stomach. Sure. This movie ran all the time on cable to the point that you had to watch it.
Tonight on HBO, Super Fuzz, followed by The Beastmaster. And then 3 middle-aged guys rent a beach house to hopefully score with young single women. Not having what it takes, the men hire a sexy young surfer, Scotty, to teach them some game and help them meet girls in Hard Bodies.
Before the internet and sexting, we're all in our rooms alone, watching cable, hacking to Carrot. The 80s may seem innocent in Stranger Things. They were not. Grant Kramer is Scotty. Grant Kramer's from Killer Clowns from Outer Space Course. He's Scotty who gets hired by 3 old men, Gary Wood, Michael Rappaport, Patrick from Black Christmas, and Sorrells Pickard. Sorrells Pickard? That sounds like a bad guy from a exploitation movie. They wanted him to teach him how to pick up younger women. How he knows how to do it for him because he's an attractive younger guy. I don't know how does he take the skills back to them? Anyway, he has a skill called BBD, which is called Bigger and Better Deal, that allows him to dialogue women into bed. Then, he falls in love with a girl named Chrissy and starts seeing how sad the life he's led until now once was. That's how guys are. Guys will tell you about their system, and then one night they're laying in bed and there's a beautiful woman they don't even know. And they're like, how did I get here? What a sad life. What do you expect about a movie that's based on an article from the November 1983 Penthouse, written by the film screenwriters Eric Alder and Stephen Green, supposedly based on a true story? This got some folks in it. Courtney Gaines, Malachi, is in this, as is Darcy DeMoss from Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, and my beloved Vice Academy 3. Roberta Collins, Matilda the Hun from Death Race 2000. Kathleen Kinlaw from Halloween 4. Cops do it by the book.
I didn't know you and Brady had anything, okay? You knew. You just didn't care. He's not married. Besides, I've got a right to do what's best for me. Don't you mean what you do best? Wise up to what men want, Rachel. Or Brady won't be the last man you lose to another woman.
Christy Summers, Valerie from Savage Streets, Marcia Carr, Stevie from Savage Streets, and Nancy from Maniac Cop, Emily Longstreth from American Drive-In, a movie you should never watch, Leslie Bremer from School Spirit, probably shouldn't watch it either. Kane Hodder is a geek, and the band Vixen is in this. If you grew up in the 80s, you know Vixen. They play a band named Diaper Rash. I hate when movies fake name metal bands. It's the worst. It's easy. Just like no one would call their band Diaper Rash. Is this movie good? No, not at all. Is this something I watch every once in a while to remind myself that I was closer in age at one point to the hero of this movie and not to the old men that hire him? Yeah, I do that. Also, third act, hell, one of the guys is just a jerk. Every guy in this movie is a jerk. How bad do you have to be like, you know what? That's the guy screwing it up. There was like one guy on Epstein Island that was the worst, and they're like, he's getting out of control. We got to talk to him. That's kind of what this guy's like. Anyway, the last movie on this list. Let's cleanse the palate a bit. Let's talk about how horrible men are, but let's get them in trouble.
Her name is Angel. She's unlike any high school student you've ever met.
Are you having difficulty making friends?
I'm on top of the honors list.
There's more to life than getting straight A's.
Her only friends are on the streets. Her only chance is on her own.
You're young, attractive, healthy. You're swimming around in a toilet bowl.
I was alone.
Where's your mom, Angel?
One day I came home from school and she was gone. Just that note, $100 bill. I just put on some sexy clothes and high heels and went out and made a living.
Everything in life has a price on it, Angel. Somewhere down the line, you're gonna have to pay.
It's my life.
Angel, her two worlds are about to collide.
Remind me never to get murdered.
Angel, it's her choice, her chance, and her life.
Man, Angel's everything I want in a movie. It's all the cast of people I adore. It's an alternate universe, Los Angeles, at once filled with scum, and yet the nicest group of sex workers and ne'er-do-wells you'll ever meet. Foremost among them, Molly Stewart, an honor student by day and a streetwalker by night. When I saw that tagline as a teenager, I was like, God, I'm sold, right? Sold. Played by Donna Wilkes, who somehow shows up in so many of my favorite movies. A child in Jaws 2. Here she's in Schizoid, in love with her father, Klaus Kinski, as well as Bloodsong, Being Menaced by Frankie Avalon. And alongside Linda Blair in Grotesque, she took this role so seriously. She did plenty of research, saying, I actually walked the streets with these girls and talked to them. And I also talked to the people with the group called Children of the Night, the Hollywood Police Department too. Of course, she was 22 and not 15, but isn't that true of every 20-something, 30-something teenager in the movies that I love? At night, Molly becomes Angel. Sparks are high-heeled stilettos clacking against the stars of the Walk of Fame and all down Hollywood Boulevard. Her street family, her father left 9 years ago, and her mother abandoned her 3 years ago, leaving her to pay her own way through her expensive school. Ever since, this family takes care of her. They're made up of senior citizen cowboy actor Kit Carlson, Rory Calhoun from Motel Hell, street magician Yo-Yo Charlie, May, played by Dick Shawn.
I meant to ask you, that dress, sex?
Eye magnets.
Oh, stunning.
Thank you. I got it on sale.
Crystal, Lana, and landlady Sully Mosler. She's played by Susan Tyrrell. Oh my God, who owns every movie she's ever been in. She's always in control while forever out of control. The problem, there's a serial killer who sleeps with his victims after he kills them. To further sleaze us up, he's after Angel. After finding Lana's body in the shower, Angel goes to the police. Her description gets the guy arrested. The only problem, he shoots his way out and knows that she's the one who identified him. You can play this with Vice Squad. You can totally play this with Vice Squad, and you can sit back and be like, this is the Los Angeles that I dreamed of, not the boring Los Angeles that is. Things get worse when her classmates recognize her on the streets. May's impression of her mother does not convince one of her teachers. When May is stabbed by the serial killer, Angel grabs a gun and takes her life and the law into her own hands. There are 3 sequels to this movie, all with different actresses as Angel. Will I cover them on the show? Fuck, I will. You know me. They could have made 40 Angel movies, and I would watch every single one of them. I've watched every Police Academy movie. I've watched every Vice Academy movie. I watched every Fast and Furious in the same day to prove a point. I love Angel movies. The second Angel is so good. Just the poster from Angel. When I look at the poster of Angel, it makes me so happy inside. The fact that this movie exists on my shelf and I don't have to watch it in between the channels, trying to static in the channels to watch it and keep it quiet so my parents didn't know I was watching it. It's really not that dirty of a movie. Just the idea of it is. The idea that this girl during the day, she's a Bobby Soxer. Is this a Frank Sinatra word from the 50s that I bring back? Yes. But that she is also a woman in control of her sexuality, presenting much older and tough enough to carry a gun. God, Angel, I dreamed as a kid of being a streetwalker. Then I realized that I had giant glasses. I looked like a frog. I often wore Jams Pacific shorts. If you remember those, you're from the 80s. And Bartles and James t-shirts. And I had spiked up hair and a mullet. And I was very fat and had bad skin. And I said, I'm nice. I was like a junior incel. Like, I'm nice to women, like what women, girls. I called Sally Jesse Raphael's talk show once at 13 to ask why I didn't have a girlfriend. I'll tell you why I didn't. I was a loser, a complete loser that sat in his room, started drinking at 12, mostly just listened to heavy metal, played guitar, drew comic books, and watched horror movies. What has changed in my life? Nothing. Somehow I convinced Becca to marry me. But yeah, just horrible. The fact that who would want this goofy kid street walking? Would I dress like Angel on the poster? I should do a poster for this episode with chubby teen me and then like adult me as Angel walking the street, avenging Sam. Anyway, BNS About Movies. You can learn more on the website, bnsaboutmovies.com. You can write me an email, help me deal with my psychosis, bnsaboutmovies@gmail.com. There's also a Ko-fi link in the show notes. If you donate, it doesn't have to be much. God, I know gas prices are about to go through the roof. Let me bring reality in here. We're about to go through it and nobody cares. I care. That's what I'm talking about, Angel. Come on. And maybe like $1 or $2 and I'll do whatever movie you want me to do. If you want me to watch all the Dark Brother movies for science, I will do it. Thanks for listening.